Good morning, Sorcery fans. This morning we're going to take a look at our third beta pre-constructed deck. We're going to open up the Air Sparkmage deck today on the channel. Let you know what is included inside this pre-constructed deck in case you're looking at playing the Air cards in Sorcery or the Sparkmage avatar. We've got our brand new Battlefield playmat from the beta edition. It's got the beta symbol down here and the Sorcery logo over here. It is a double wide playmat, contains all 20 squares of the grid, so you can play with your friends. We're gonna open up this box today. I don't know what cards are inside this deck, so we're gonna kind of inventory those for you today. I do know that it contains one avatar, which is the Sparkmage there, that avatar, 16 atlases, and 36 spellbook cards. So let's open up this deck. Last week we opened up the Geomancer deck and the Wave Shaper deck. And so this is our third pre-constructed deck and budget deck tech. We're gonna suggest some upgrades to this deck that you can make for less than $100 US. Oh, we got a unique site in there, pretty cool. All right, so here's the inventory of what is included in the beta pre-constructed Air Elemental deck kits. Starting off with the Sparkmage avatar. Its special ability is it targets a nearby location and deals damage to another random unit there equal to the sum of the air on spells you've cast this turn. We have 3 copies of Lightning Bolt. That deals 3 damage to a random unit at target location. That's a great card. We'll put the ordinaries right there. There's 1 copy of Thunderstorm. That is an exceptional. We have 1 copy of Lucky Charm. That is an exceptional. Bear's controller has whenever you would determine an outcome of a random, determine an extra time and choose one. Then we have the Nimbus Djinn that's on the package. This is an elite spirit. It has airborne. You discard a spell and deal 3 damage to another random unit there. Awesome. And then we have Sling Pixies. This is an exceptional fairies. It has airborne and ranged. Very cool card. Takes no damage from units with 4 or more power. Put that right here. Then we have 2 copies of Snow Leopard. That is an ordinary beast. Vanilla 1/2 creature. We have Cloud Spirit is an ordinary spirit, has airborne and movement +2. We have 2 copies of Dead of the Night Demon. It has stealth. We have 2 Spectral Stalkers. I know this is a good card, so we might want to put multiple copies of Spectral Stalker in our deck. This is for 2 mana, does 2 power toughness, and it has Void Walk. That's also good, I think, in a Death Speaker deck. There's Headless Haunt, an exceptional spirit with Void Walk. There's 2 copies of Headless Haunt. We'll put that in that exceptional pile. We have 1 copy of Kite Archer, which is exceptional. We have 2 copies of Midnight Rogue, which are ordinary. They have ranged and stealth. 2 copies of Plumed Pegasus that have airborne for 3 mana. We have 1 copy of Spire Lich, which is exceptional. Spire Lich is atop a tower. It has +2 power, ranged, and spellcaster. So that's good, especially if we have towers in the deck. There's Gyre Hippogriffs, which is exceptional. Airborne and charge, 1 copy of that. We have Skirmishers of Mu is really good. This is an exceptional mortal. It has ranged. We have Roaming Monster. This is an ordinary monster, maybe summoned to any site. Put that in the ordinary pile. We have Highland Clansman is an ordinary mortal with charge. Costs 7 though, so that's expensive. We also have 2 copies of Apprentice Wizard. That's an ordinary, it's a spellcaster. Has Genesis and it lets you draw a spell. Grandmaster Wizard is a really good elite mortal. It's a spellcaster, and it also has Genesis and lets you draw 3 spells. So that's excellent. We have 2 copies of Blink, which are ordinary. An ally teleports to a location it's nearby and then draws a card. We have the Teleport, which goes with Blink. It's also an ordinary magic, and you teleport an ally to the surface of target site. We have Raise Dead, which is exceptional, 1 copy. Summon a random dead minion. We have 2 copies of Chain Lightning, which are both exceptional. Deals 2 damage to target nearby unit. Any number of times you may spend 2 mana to additionally target a new unit nearby the previous one. So those are our spells. There's 36 there. So we'll add 4 spells to that deck. These are the sites. We have 3 Gothic Towers. They have Genesis, and you gain 1 mana this turn. If it's the only Gothic Tower, you gain 1 this turn. So we have 3 of those, put those right there. We have 3 Dark Towers, has Genesis, and also lets you generate 1 mana. Then we have the 3 Lone Towers. These are also ordinary. Same text as the other towers. Then we have a Mountain Pass. This is an exceptional card. We can play 3 of these in the deck. Mountains, let's see, no, minions can't enter the site on the ground if there's already a minion atop, so that's exceptional. We have Updraft Ridge, also exceptional, 2 copies of Updraft Ridge. Airborne minions atop Updraft Ridge have movement +1. We have Observatory, that's a really good elite Atlas site. Those over here. This is art by Margaret Organ Keene, who did a bunch of magic cards. It has Genesis. You look at the top, the next 3 spells, and you put them back in any order. That's pretty good. Lets you kind of. Then there's Planar Gate, also an elite. Minions here traverse the void, gaining Void Walk until they leave it. And then Cloud City is the unique site, which you need a threshold 3 water or 3 air, and then once on your turn, the site may fly to a nearby void. Cool. So those are our 16 Atlas sites. We'll open up our extra. This is some of our extra air spells that we pulled out of our beta booster boxes. We know Apprentice Wizard is good, so we want to run 4 copies of Apprentice Wizard. So we're going to add 2 Apprentice Wizards to our deck. So then we need, this is an extra one. Blink is also really good. We have 3 copies of Blink, so we're going to add that in there eventually. Grapple Shot is also really good. An ally shoots a projectile. If it hits a unit, the ally is dragged to that location and may strike and hit unit when it arrives. So we're going to add 2 Grapple Shots to the air deck since we don't have any in there. So that makes 40 spells in the book. Now we're going to add some other cards and now we have to take out a few cards. Let's put in a 3rd copy of Blink, and let's take out Highland Clansman. It costs 7 for an ordinary. That seems high. We have 3 lightning bolts. We could put in a 4th one. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's put in a 4th lightning bolt and take out one of these. This has stealth. This has airborne. Let's take out the snow leopard. I think that's just a generic vanilla creature beast minion. That's an extra lightning bolt. We have Men of Lang, which is an ordinary beast. Whenever Men of Lang strikes an avatar, that avatar discards a random card. That's pretty good. This is airborne air card. Let's put that in our ordinary pile. Maybe we would take out Roaming Monster. This may be summoned to any site. That's pretty good. Snow Leopard. What about Midnight Rogue? Ranged and stealth. 3/2, 1/2. Let's take out the other snow leopard. And let's take out one midnight rogue. Palaberry bats, they have airborne and burrowing, so that's kind of cool. Let's put 2 of those in. Let's take out the other midnight rogue and a Dead of Demon Knight. This has stealth, so those 2 are coming out. Spectral Stalker we liked. We have 2 Spectral Stalkers in the pre-constructed deck. They have Void Walk. Let's put 2 more in. I think we're going to take out Plumed Pegasus to make those fit. This has airborne. Perfect. Chain is an exceptional. We can play 3 of these. So let's put a third one. Let's put a third Chain Lightning in. Let's take out Kite Archer. Immediately after performing a range strike, Kite Archer may take a step. Let's just get rid of that one. There's an extra Chain Lightning. We have 3 Gyre Hippogriffs, which we liked. And this deck came with 1 Gyre Hippogriffs. We could switch for Headless Haunt, perhaps. This has Airborne in charge, and Headless Haunt has Void Walk. Start of your turn, Headless Haunt teleports. No, let's keep that in there. So 1 Gyre Hippogriff seems pretty good. Phantom Steed was also good. It has movement +2. May carry an allied minion along with it. I like that. Art is by Melissa Benson. Do we want to put this in here? Let's add Phantom Steed. Let's take out a Cloud Spirit. Airborne movement +2. Sure, why not? There's a Phase Assassin, which we did not have in the exceptional. It has Void Walk, and whenever Phase Assassin enters the void, he gains stealth. That's pretty good too. We'll skip it though. Poisonous Dagger is an exceptional weapon and gives the bearer lethal. So I think we want to try to add in 3 exceptional Poisonous Daggers. Let's put those there. Take out Lucky Charm. Lucky Charm, yeah, let's take out Lucky Charm is one of those. Let's take out some Cloud Spirit and Dead of Demon Knight. Let's do that. Deck is going to be pretty simplified once it's all said and done. Skirmishers of Mu is really good. It has range during basic movement. Skirmishers of Mu may perform range strike from any location along the path. We already have one, so let's keep that one in there. We can do Summoning Sphere. You may summon a minion to affected site. That's pretty good. I don't know if there's room for it in this particular deck, unless we want to. I like Nimbus Djinn, so let's keep that in there. Thor's Hammer Trinket was pretty good. Bear gives +1/+1 power. It's an exceptional relic for 1 mana. Let's keep that out as well. Whirling Blades was the last airborne air card that I thought would be might work well in this deck. It's a vortex of exceptional magic, and an ally may take up to 2 steps and then strike an enemy along their entire path. It costs 5 and have to have threshold of 2 air, so we'll just leave that out as well. Now we get to the sites, I believe. Actually, no, there's some other cards in there too. Sights will be last, but Drums of Doom is an elite. Damage dealt to minions nearby is lethal. Let's take out 1 Poisonous Dagger, put in Drums of Doom since it's essentially the same card. Highland Falconer has Genesis. It's an elite mortal. You may search your hand for a spellbook for a beast with airborne and a mana cost 2 or less and summon it here, shuffle if needed. So let's see if we have any beast with airborne and mana cost 2 real quick. Two or less, so we need small ones. Nope, Gyre Hippogriffs is 4. So not quite. I think I took some of those out. So Highland Falconer works well with some of the smaller beasts. We have Ordinary Bats. That would work. We could cast the Palaberry Bats with Highland Falconer. We could cast Men of Lang. We could cast just those 2 cards, I think. Yep, those are the only 2 we could cast with Highland Falconer, so maybe not an advantage to put in Highland Falconer, but if you were playing small ordinary beasts with mana cost 2 or less, you might want to play Highland Falconer. Mix Air is really good. It's one of the Power 9. It's an elite potion, and the bear's next air spell requires no threshold and costs 3 less to cast. So this would help us get some of the bigger cards into play, like the Drums of Doom or the Grandmaster Wizard or the Nimbus Djinn. Also, if we were playing a different element in the deck, if it was a 2-element deck and we didn't have a land site that provided threshold of that color, we could play one of the mixes to kind of get that card into play. But for now, this just generates mana acceleration to let us play our bigger spells at a discount, hopefully earlier in the game, so we get them out before our opponent plays something. Do we need 2 copies? I had 2 extra copies of Mix Air. I like the art a lot. It's an elite potion. It provides a discount, so let's see if we can take out any. Do we have any extra cards that we want to take out? Suppose we could take out 1 Apprentice Wizard. We probably don't need 4 in there. And if we had a Mix Air in play, we could cast the Apprentice Wizard for free, I think. And 3 Chain Lightning, 4 Spectral Stalkers, 4 Lightning Bolts. Let's just take out we can go ahead and take out 1 Chain Lightning, I think. That seems fine. All right, Riddle Sphinx costs 6, does some shenanigans, which replacing the bottom spellbook with the top card unless you draw a card. I think the opponent answers a riddle and whether or not they would like to switch those cards. That works well in this deck. I don't think I have room for it, so we'll leave Riddle Sphinx out. Unique Unlikely Alliances and Elite Magic. You draw a card for each rarity among allied minions. That could be good. And finally, Zephyrin Airship is an elite mortal. It has airborne movement +2 and may carry another number of allied minions. That's not bad. It's kind of a vehicle. Do I have room? Don't know if I have room, so I'm on the fence, but I'm going to leave that one out for now. Let me know if I should put that in or any other air spells in this deck. Let's finish off with the Atlas Sites, shall we? I have 2 copies of Mountain Pass. So we're going to need at least 1 of those to make 3 playset of Mountain Pass, which is exceptional. We have 1 Updraft Ridge, so we'll add that. We need that into our make a playset of Updraft Ridge. Now we have 2 more spots left, and we also have 2 Watchtowers, which do not come in the pre-constructed deck, but Watchtower is an exceptional site. Enemy units atop nearby site permanently lose stealth, so that's pretty good. And art is by Jeff Mangus, the one and only. So there are our 20 Atlas sites and 40 spellbooks. I'm gonna make a little bit of room here and spread these out so you can see what is in this deck. I've adjusted my camera this morning so I have a lot more playing space to work with, but I think this will be a pretty viable Sparkmage deck. In some of my other videos, I'm gonna test these out, match them up against each other so you can see how the different decks do, and you can decide which deck you'd like to play in Sorcery. So we have 3 Dark Towers. Start with the ordinary sites here. We got 3 Dark Towers, 3 Gothic Towers, 3 Lone Towers. You could add more towers if you wanted to. You could add unique sites if you had those. We have 3 Mountain Pass, which are exceptional. Let's put those up here. We have 3 Updraft Ridge, exceptional sites. 2 Watchtowers. We have an Observatory, Planar Gate, and a Cloud City. Those are our powerful sites. And let's move everything up. The last deck that I'm gonna do a deck tech and budget upgrade on is the Flamecaller Fire deck. And then after that, I think I'm gonna start with the Death Speaker to do a 2-color deck. So here's our ordinary cards. We're gonna start with 3 copies of Apprentice Wizard. I really wanted 4 in this deck, but I think I could only fit 3 in. Then we'll do Blink. Also, we're gonna do 3 copies of Blink. Put that there. We're gonna do 2 copies of Grapple Shot. I think 3 Lightning Bolts. Oh, 4 Lightning Bolts. Kept 4 in. Okay, 4 Lightning Bolts. 2 Men of Lang, ordinary. 2 Palaberry Bats. 1 Roaming Monster. 4 Spectral Stalkers, and 1 Teleport. So that's our ordinaries. Let's do our exceptionals. Drums of Doom is elite. Let's put that in the elite pile. Chain Lightning. 2 copies of Chain Lightning. 1 Gyre Hippogriffs. 2 Headless Haunt. Do 1 Phantom Steed. 2 Poisonous Daggers. 1 Raised Dead. 1 Skirmishers of Mu, 1 Sling Pixies, 1 Spiralich, 1 Thunderstorm. Those are the exceptionals. And then last is the 5 elite spells. We'll put in 1 Drums of Doom. We'll put in 1 Grandmaster Wizard, 2 copies of Mix Air, and 1 Nimbus Djinn to round out the deck. So that's our 60 cards in the Sparkmage deck. Let me know what you think of this pre-constructed deck as is. Let me know what you think of the upgrades that I've suggested on a budget of $100 or less. There's our screenshot for the thumbnail. I'll upload this in a couple days, and then following this will be the Flamecaller budget deck, tech, and upgrade video. Appreciate all the likes, comments, and subscriptions to the channel. We'll catch you in the next video.